Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I just.
Okay.
This is yours.
Yeah.
All right, we will call the street committee to order. It is 5:00. Excuse me, we just have a couple of agenda items today. Number one is, says email the chamber regarding the parade permits for the light parade scheduled for this month.
Yes, I did, and they got their application in and their insurance, so they are good to go. And, I have that for you, Mike. I don't know if it's in your packet.
I think it is.
But anyway, we got all that,
You're,
so. And it all looks good.
Okay, so light parade is a go.
Yep.
Awesome. And then number two says there we have an update on the issues with Merrill Avenue.
Yes, there's an email in your packet from Mr. Mintz, and it appears that they've taken care of most of the issues. The one that remained are the non-functioning streetlights. And so they asked for permission to do a overhead wiring where the overhead wiring already exists. And I spoke with Frank and we decided to just say, yes, go ahead. So they're gonna move forward with that and we should have all the lights working pretty soon.
cool.
All right. And that is all that is on our agenda right now. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, is there any public comment on those? No? All right, no public comment. So then we can adjourn the street committee meeting at 5:01 p.m.
And so, Mr. Dryden, I'll just make a quick note that I put on the FUPR committee that it could start at 5:00 because I was informed that when we have a 5:15 time on there, that we're technically supposed to wait till 5:15. So from now on, I will just be putting both meetings at 5 in case we get done with one earlier, so we can get off.
Okay, all right, thanks, Matt. Well, we'll convene the FUPR meeting. 5:02 it says on that clock, so. Item number one, update from EPEDC on pilot tourism grant and preliminary plans. They've been here
Yeah,
since
I'll
4
just
o'clock.
pass out.
Okay, if you want, or if you, do you need any of these?
I might just need this one. Yeah, here. Okay. I may wait till everybody gets it.
You guys wanna take one down, pass it around kind of
Yeah,
a thing?
here we go.
Do you want one of these? I've got more.
No.
Okay. You can pass it over to John. Thank you, just for yourself, and then there should be enough there.
Okay.
So if you guys could just identify yourself so the viewers at home.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm Jamie Shanks. I'm with Eastern Plains Economic Development Corp in Glendive, and I'm a community development specialist and the project manager for the pilot tourism grant.
And I'm Tara Berman with Eastern Plains Economic Development, also a member of Glendive, and I am the executive director from Eastern Plains. We serve a 5-county area, Dauphin County being one of them.
So today we're just giving an update on the pilot tourism grant that we proposed to the FUPR committee and the city council in August.
Oh, sorry.
What I did on this sheet that has the Elevate Glendive logo at the top, it's a black logo, is I put the programs outlined there just from the Montana Department of Commerce, just for reference. And then what we proposed in August for our phase one scope of work, I basically took those bullets that we proposed to you and I put our updates underneath. So if you look at the feasibility study for the GTA lot, we are looking at a tourism hub with retail spaces, bike or kayak rentals, walking tours, info kiosks, stage, landscaping, etc. So this study is in process. There have been surveying and preliminary schematic concepts, and those have been rendered based on that scope of work. And so we have seen some preliminary things. Deb, I believe I shared that with you too. Yes. So yeah, it's very exciting. But again, still preliminary, so we're still working things out. They are also working on the budget, so that'll be addressed for phases of work in the next 5 years as well. A final presentation of these schematics concepts and the report is on track to be presented in full in January. So the next point is one of the things we're also doing alongside this is we are holding public stakeholder meetings. So these are invite only, however, so we're just inviting key people that are going to be affected by this hub in proximity, or people in town that have some sort of connection we feel could have connection to it are invited to these public stakeholder meetings. So our first one was September 24th. We will have another one November 19th from 1 to 3 p.m. in the basement of the courthouse. And everyone here is welcome to come to that if they like to. I know, Deb, you're going to join us. And then a third meeting will be held by year end with the final report on those in January of 2026. The purpose of these public stakeholder meetings is to cast like a wider vision for Glendive, the downtown area, the hub. Are we thinking of everything for this? You know, when we're asking different business owners and different community stakeholders, you know, when we're putting these plans together, we're just getting, are we really crossing T's, dotting I's as we put this plan together? Maybe there's things we didn't think of. And so we're just asking for that vision. And then on top of that, how this connects out to our downtown, and part of that revitalization plan we're looking at with how do we want our downtown to look? What do we want for our community and visitors? And then the final thing under that is just the MOU. We do have that. We're working on that, and we'll have that to you by this month's end, no later than December. So I did have that. I'll give that to you, Mayor Diane,
Okay.
unless advised otherwise. So
No, that'll be fine.
That's
I'll
good.
review it with Mr. Sarah.
okay,
Okay,
sounds good. Yeah, I wasn't sure the process of that.
Yeah.
So okay.
We just want to make sure it didn't like go straight to your lawyer or anything like that.
Yeah.
It'll end up there. too.
It'll
Yeah,
end up
I guess,
there,
of
for
course,
sure.
but
Yeah, for sure. Yep. And then on that water treatment plant, thank you for letting us go in there. We're looking at what that could be possibly. And so we did have structural engineer and architects there in September, and they did all of their things they needed to do, their schematics and their surveying and all those things. That study is almost complete, is what we found out today. So should be probably next month, we'll see that as to what could this possibly be with this, and is it feasible to do anything with that? So good information, I think, for everybody. The other part of this is the downtown revitalization plan. That includes that streetscaping and wayfinding signage through town and kind of a city brand. That plan will begin in 2026. So we will be getting together with you at that point to collaborate on that. And our architectural team, our engineering team will be subcontracting that with a marketing firm to help us with that branding. So, and then the surveys and focus groups. This is part of a requirement with this grant. We have to do kind of pre and post with the grant. So we're taking sort of a temperature check of our town currently, the community, on where do we think we are with tourism readiness.
Mhm.
There's 10 very direct questions. And so we will start those tomorrow. We're going to be at the Bloom in the morning from 7 to 9, and you can get a free coffee if you fill out the survey. So just heads up.
I will be there.
There you
Okay,
go.
come on to the-
Yeah. And then we do have some focus groups throughout the day at the chamber. So I've got, I think, up to 10 people per those, and I've picked business owners on Merrill to hotel managers to you name it. And then people that really don't have a touch point with tourism, community members that I feel like are very positive in the community, forward thinkers, but just don't really have that connection necessarily. I'd love to hear from them, just a diverse group.
Mhm.
We're going to leave that survey open for a week. So this will go out to the whole community for the rest of the week. Just you can get on there and do that. And then also tomorrow night at Cross Brewery, you get a free beer if you fill out the survey. So we're trying to get different
age.
groups. Yeah. Yeah.
Only one free
Yeah.
beer.
Yeah.
there.
Don't put on a mask
Yeah.
and
Right.
come in and
No
say,
disguise.
"Oh,
Different
yeah."
name.
For sure. So that's where we're at with that. So the next steps now are the surveys, the public stakeholder meeting, the MOU, and then this feasibility report for the historic water treatment plant. So we're right on track with everything that we had in our phases with doing all the preliminary things first. And we're looking at action starting to come in play by January, February. We're going to start seeing some things. So it's been a lot of legwork.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of phone calls.
A lot of foundation here.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
foundational work. So, and we did include with this, this sheet here. This came out, I sent this to you, Deb, and I think it's in the paper today too, maybe, Brendan. This is an article that was written by Distinctly Montana about tourism in Eastern Montana and how we have doubled in revenue and visitation is just on the rise here. And a lot of this is the efforts at the state level. Really focusing on our side of the state with their advertising and marketing. And of course, that's partly why we got this grant too, is they're giving us money to develop assets here. So really looking at how tourism revenue can help bolster our side of the state and also offset that visitation on the west side.
And then we included the ITRR study for you to reference if
Yeah.
you're curious about like who's coming, what's happening, things like that. So
Yeah. In the article,
Some
they
graphics.
pull a lot of that
the
data.
data's right
So
there.
we've included the whole packet for you too. So you can just, some reading material at bedtime.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty riveting. It's kind of neat, what they found out with everything. So that's our update so far.
Do you guys have any questions?
I just want to make sure that the line of communication between you guys and
Mhm.
Frank and Deb stays open. Like if
Yes.
there's ever a gap, you got to get in here and
Yep,
make sure it's
Absolutely.
clear so
Yep.
we don't want to miss out on this opportunity
right.
because it's
Yep.
going to affect the whole community.
Mhm.
It
It's a
is,
lot of
yep.
money,
Yep.
no matter what you're doing. If you're building something, it's helping somebody.
It's helping
else.
somebody.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Would
thank
the
you.
best,
Yeah.
would the best mode of communication be email? Would that be best?
Well, yes, really. I mean,
Okay, we'll
we
do that.
do email, but, you know, I do think it doesn't hurt to meet in person sometimes.
For sure.
too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
We're happy
Yep.
to come to
Yeah.
the FUPR meetings,
Mhm.
just so
Yep.
that we can have like candid conversations too, where you can
Yeah.
ask
And we
them
welcome
questions.
it. Like,
Okay.
I like
Yeah.
hearing the updates.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of
I was
course.
kind of like, oh, everything must be going good.
Yeah, it must be
Yeah.
all right. Notice
And really up until
Yeah.
now, it has just been kind of,
Yeah.
it really, the updates weren't
I'm glad to
super
hear that everything's
substantial.
kind of
Yeah.
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 behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
they-
just wanted to make sure we were like not
Yeah.
going to disrupt your project on Bell Street and like that was all going well and that we were connected that way. So
Yeah.
we have communication between our engineers and the interstate engineering.
Okay, good.
So
Yeah.
that's good.
Mhm.
So they've talked with Jordan. I think
Yep.
that that's all up and
Yeah,
up. So
that's good.
yeah, so that we're
Yeah,
not
anything that they
interrupting your
can do
project.
while they're still working.
Right.
that'll
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of for the future, so we
Yep.
don't have to plow up the brand new
Exactly.
road.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
that's was
Yeah.
that was on our list
absolutely.
too.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, we
Yeah.
don't want to, we want to be really good stewards of this money
Yes, and we
and
don't
time
rush this.
and,
Yeah.
and not put things in place and then dig up. No, nobody wants that.
Yeah.
We-
So,
I'm sure
yeah.
we all could say, we all appreciate your effort in this because it's
Yeah.
a huge thing for Glendive.
Yeah.
Just any project, we got to welcome it.
Yeah,
Hope so.
for sure.
Yeah.
It's well, even the renderings, I actually teared up because it's
Yeah.
so good for our town. So it's really, really amazing, the vision that's
Sometimes
coming
this stuff is
together.
contagious too, if you're
Mhm.
doing something, maybe somebody else will say, hey,
Yeah.
we should remodel our business or do
Yeah.
something.
Well, that's what we're
That's the
hoping with this, is
Invest.
that's just as a catalyst for
Mhm.
other things, that this isn't just where it stops and starts, but that this does kind of set an example
Mhm.
for what
Yeah.
else could be done. Yeah, and the point too is getting more people downtown
Mhm.
to fill our buildings, and we've seen the surveys, they want more shops and they want more
Yeah.
things and a healthy downtown, yeah.
Yeah, I got a question, just, if nobody else. And thanks for that. The 2.75 million in grants, and that is how, that's paid out as requests are sent
Yep.
through the
Mhm.
people.
It's a reimbursement grant.
So
Yeah.
then you basically call for money, but there is no limitations. It's over 5 years, but if you
Mhm.
were able to get what you wanted done in 2 years, and that all that money would
So-
then be paid.
Yes and no. So we only have a 2-year contract with the Department of Commerce right now. So we do not have $2.75 million set aside for us right now. We only have 1.25.
Yep,
1.25 set aside right now. So for those first 2 years, year 1 being the planning process, year 2 being the implementation of that plan. So no, there's not $2.75 million sitting there waiting for us. It's right now it's 1.25, and that depends on the next legislative session.
Yeah.
So this contract will come back up. So we want to make sure that our plan is done in phases so that in year 2, we're not sitting there with like, oh, now I've been an open hole sitting
Yeah,
there. Like,
right.
who's
Yep.
filling this in?
Yep.
So that's where we're working on the phase plan so that it's
Mhm.
not just like, okay, after year 2 and say legislative session says, nope, we're not going to fund these projects anymore. We don't want anyone left holding a bag, right? Like we want it to be like phased out in such a way that this project is now complete and you don't have to like remobilize everything, stuff like that. So, but we'll have good indicators as to whether or not it's going to move forward or not. We have a good relationship with the Department of Commerce for that. That's an excellent question. And then it is, so it's a reimbursement grant. We don't call for the money. We actually have to get the invoices and then
But we have some good contracts in place where they're like, they'll get it to us way ahead. So we're not sitting there going, we can't pay anybody.
Can't pay the bill,
Yeah,
right?
bless you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, bless
Yeah,
you.
we can't, we've kind of walked that through with our contractors so far, that could we get things way ahead of time so we can get that submitted, have that money ready. Just
Like a net 45 versus a net 30 or something, and having the time to submit to Commerce and then pay it off. Yeah,
Okay.
good question.
So,
Well, thank you. So just one other thing, and it may actually involve the mayor more than you guys, I'm not sure. The MOU after, DPEDC and the city and, come to what should be in the MOU and that would go to the council then? Does the council have to approve the MOU? That's my question, I guess. Seems like it would,
I would
Seems
assume.
like,
because it seems like
because
we
you
approved
approve
all
all
the other.
contracts.
Yeah.
So I would think you would.
yeah.
And so my only question would be, so did this change slightly? Because wasn't this a 5-year thing when it started out, when we did the application?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
always been a 5-year thing.
It's
So
always
it
been
is
fine.
still a 5-year.
It's still 5-year, but the money's only guaranteed for 2 years because every legislation
Oh, I
session,
see.
the money goes on the chopping block. So we are like, what? Okay, we for sure have 1.25.
Yes.
So we're gonna do everything we can to use that up and get everything we can in place, and like to Tara's point, not have something dangling or
Right.
undone, or it looks like this is what you did with 1.25.
Yeah.
We don't want that. So
Yeah.
we're being really strategic and how we're phasing this out. But the hope and prayer is that, yes, we have all the money for all 5 years.
Yeah.
And
It keeps going past, and I think that having studies like this one from ITRR, where they do show like how Eastern Montana is growing, we just don't have the amenities, right? Like we
Right.
have to have the systems in place for these tourists that are coming here, because we don't have the infrastructure, the public restrooms, the campsites, the whatever, just places to stay. You saw that like cabins and houses for rent, that went up tenfold exponentially, right?
Yes.
So
Yep.
the need for housing and the need for like rental units and things like that for visitors is really, really high. So
Yep.
if we have infrastructure in place, again, we're hoping other people invest, things like that. And then if it does come on the chopping block, we will call to you to say, hey, can you guys call your legislators and please fight for our funding? Because every year it goes on the chopping block, or every time it does. And it's the bed tax dollars that we're using. And that's what goes on the chopping block normally, where they say like, we'll give it back to the taxpayer.
Right.
And that usually equates to maybe a couple $100s per household versus like impactful like projects in your community, which can then create hopefully more tax dollars for your community, which can create more like things to do, investments, things like that, and the economic development behind it. So yeah. I know, not to confuse anyone by saying there's not 5 years. It is 5 years, but we do have to be mindful of like, that's where we're focusing on the hub at this point and not doing 20 different projects.
Yes. Yep.
And not just like, we're going to break out on 15 different things. No,
Right.
we're going to focus on one thing and then we'll be able to like phase into the next side, like part of that project, layer it in.
Right.
Yeah.
And certainly this is for visitors, but as we mentioned before, this is for the community too. So it's like a downtown community center is what it's going to, on sleepy seasons, will be used as well.
Totally.
So,
Yeah.
or in between, or in tandem with. So, yeah.
Well, just one last question that came up as you were talking, and again, I apologize to everyone. I know everybody has a time commitment here, but you guys have meetings then, and so by January, there's a report, and then you don't have to go into detail, but you see that there would be some trimming down. You talked laser focus, so laser focus sometimes means some things are no longer in the focus. That's kind of where I'm going.
Yeah.
So is that kind of what the purpose of those meetings are?
Yes, the engineers and architects are definitely in the active listening phase, but they're also putting those budget items together because everything costs a lot of money. So it's really getting a pulse on what's most important to us and where these dollars are going to go. That's going to be the biggest bang for our buck, that we truly want,
Yeah.
for this area.
It's gonna get very real.
It's gonna get really real. We're
Yeah.
starting to get into the
Yeah.
funnel
Just
already.
like I said, laser
Yes,
focus, unfortunately, yeah.
So they've
Good luck,
kind
you guys really, your time frame is really getting.
it's
condensed.
short,
Mhm.
and so that's why
Mhm.
we're moving. Yeah,
Mhm.
so by end of this year, I mean, it's already been a lot of legwork, and
Yeah.
yeah, but it's been great. It's been good.
Yeah.
We've been really staying on track, and it's nice to be on par with everything. So
Mhm.
we will have that, narrowed down by January, and so. But we have great guidance from
Yeah.
the engineers and architects who do a lot of this all the time, and the public's been great so far with their input. I'm hearing themes.
Yeah.
I'm starting to hear similar themes, so it's good to hear that I feel like as a whole, we're starting to be pretty like-minded on things, so that's good too. And some great ideas are
Well, it's
popping
good
up.
to see it trickling out to Eastern Montana, because if you've
Mhm.
traveled out west,
Mhm.
you see this in other communities.
do.
You know, there's
You know,
there's community stages and parks and
Absolutely.
we
picnic
deserve nice
areas.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even with the
We deserve it
renderings,
too.
I looked at it and I said, this is what we go to visit other places, and we would have this in our community, and what a beautiful and prideful thing to have. So it's, and something we would definitely use. So,
Well, one last thing with kind of an apology attached, and for now or
Yeah.
into the future, our meetings will start at 5, so.
Yes. Yeah.
No worries. Well, we've got somewhere to
If-
hang
if
out.
we
So
change
it's fine. It's fine.
You know what? We
If
actually
we
sat
change
down
it,
and
we'll let you know.
rested.
We didn't have a computer in front of us. We were forced to read a report. I don't know.
We did reading material. Yeah. So we just rested for a minute. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah,
Well,
but
thank you
now we
guys.
know.
Thanks
Yes,
for
thank
that.
you.
Thank you for your
all.
time.
So
Yep.
much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for your support too.
Yeah.
I'll leave those
absolutely.
for you.
I don't know
Unless
anything else
anybody
I'm
else
missing
wants
behind.
it.
Thanks for everything.
Yeah,
No,
thank you.
thank you.
Appreciate it. Yep.
Mayor, you want to talk about number 2?
You can have that. Oh, you already have.
You wanna look at your paper that looks like this? It says City of Glendale on the top, and it's kind of bluish color. This is the letter from, Forrest Sanderson, our planner. So there's a lot of attached information here about this plat. And it's been approved by Forrest, so we're just bringing it here so that it can go to the council. If you'll see the review criteria, the parcel can be transferred, it is within a platted subdivision. Anyway, everything they need to do has been done, and all the documents are attached. So personally, I don't have a lot of information about it, but I did read through this, and so, I do have some of this stuff, also on my computer, but, I'm just bringing it forward here so that we can bring it forward to the council to recommend the, plat change.
Where exactly is this?
Well,
Does anybody
it's,
know?
Behind Runnings, kind of out, almost by the city shop.
Back where he had that, where Kevin's dad had that shop?
Yeah,
Okay.
the
Yep.
Sunrise subdivision is what it's called, yeah.
This isn't over by the river then.
no,
No.
Kevin and Wagner bought property over there.
yep.
Yeah, but no, this is,
It's in between Mint Machine and
yeah, there's a
Museum.
little map here, if you are good at looking at maps. Unfortunately, I'm not, but it's on Arizona Avenue.
oh yeah, it's circled in
There's a
blue there. It's
bigger
hard.
Yeah.
If you want to look.
But if you turn at the museum there, in between
Right,
by the caboose there, that's,
Yep.
Oh,
and
I don't have that.
they're just
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's
At the-
right there.
the interest of Gerald Dover is described as real property is terminated.
Okay, thank you. No, it is actually, John, my apology. Yeah.
So in layperson's terms, Rat, what are we doing here?
we're just moving it forward for the council to vote on it.
I mean, what do they want?
No, what are they
Well,
doing?
what are
with the
they
property?
asking? Well, it looks to me, that they're asking us to approve for them to file the amended plat. So it looks like they've made a few changes And so they're changing the name because the landowner, I believe, is deceased.
Correct.
I think they were just claiming the exemption of passing it on to their family without going through the whole,
Right.
To go in there, to stay in their
to,
family.
yeah, to transfer it to his name.
Right.
Okay,
So that's all they're doing. is
So this-
taking from
nothing's-
Harold's name. into
nothing's
somebody
really
else's and the
changing
family's name. Yeah,
as far as,
yeah. I get what they're doing now. It took me a minute. Thank you.
Well, even when you read it,
Well, I'm reading it going, I'm a smart person and I'm gonna need to Google a few words.
yeah.
And then Mayor, on this, it doesn't need the planning board to do any recommendation.
No.
We can act on Forrest
Nothing.
Anderson's.
Yeah, nothing's changed, and it says any restrictions on the track remain, so there's really no reason for it, because it's, I guess, I don't really wanna say it's just a name change, but that is kind of a summary of what it is.
Okay,
All
if
right.
anybody has any other questions or objections, otherwise I'll put this down as for council approval. That's okay with you guys?
Yes.
Okay, let's move on into 9/11 grants.
All right, so I got an email that, they want to apply for a 911 grant and wondered if they could bring it to the council. And I said, well, first it has to come here. So I don't have the information for it, and I will take responsibility for not emailing Katie and getting it, because I had a big packet of stuff here and I just forgot that I don't have it, but, I know that we always ask for them to bring these things to the council, because if there's a match to the grant, we gotta figure that out, or I think that's mainly why we bring it, because otherwise we wouldn't.
Well, there can be other strings attached, like
Right.
if you apply for that grant, you can't apply for other grants that year or until that grant is finished
Yeah.
or that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I would be in favor of supporting that to go to the council as long as you get the information and John can review it before the
Right.
council meeting. So.
And I'll put it in your council packet, the information.
I agree. So at the 911 board meeting this morning, they talked about it a little bit. They don't know the amount yet. There's not a match requirement. I did ask that. I don't know if there's any other strings. But it has now become available again through the legislature or wherever it comes from. And a lot of people use it to offset their Central Square
Yeah, that's quite
expenses, which
costly.
is $33,000 for the city a year.
Yeah.
Just the maintenance fee.
Wow.
To subscribe to that program, so.
Does that all coordinate then through the state of Montana, the Central Square?
I can't answer that, I don't know.
Okay.
I know most,
Sometimes they're by regions too, I'm not sure.
yeah,
We had to do a little bit of a dive into it a few years ago when we didn't have people to work there, but.
Yeah, I can't remember if that's straight to the company or.
I think we do pay straight to the company,
Yeah.
but.
Yeah.
I don't really know exactly what it does, but it's a software program, some kind of
Yeah.
software program that they need.
So the grant you're saying that possibly be used to help pay for that?
to offset, yeah, some of those costs. But you'd have to reapply for it every year that it's available, so it's not, it would just be a one-time thing.
Yeah.
And there was, yeah, we'll look it over. They didn't have much information this morning on it either, so.
Have they applied for it before? I know that the city has.
Mhm.
Has Katie been there when we applied for it last time? Or was
I think
she still-
Janet was.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah.
I think Janet.
because they did
applied for it.
this while I've been on the council, we've talked about a 911 grant.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And
Janet.
so Janet's pretty she has a lot of knowledge on them, so I wouldn't have a problem either moving it forward as long as the information gets to you two
Okay.
before Tuesday. Mhm.
Okay, sounds good. This next item kind of blows me away a little bit. There's all this stuff about 6 and 7, which I don't know what that is.
6 and 7.
Here's for the younger generation. So people tell me I'm not included. All right.
You're not.
Sorry, Joanne, that's for
gave
you.
them all.
Well, I think I gave you one of the wrong sheets.
Oh, okay.
Pay app 6 and 7.
Yeah,
This is
You can just
John
hand
gonna
those
talk
down.
about this?
yeah, a little bit.
Just real quick, so, pay app 6, which is coming around, that's only for 30-some
Do I need one of
thousand.
these?
You just need one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have the other one.
Oh, yeah, you have 2 copies in number 7.
Yeah.
is what you
Yeah,
have.
I'm not sure.
All right, now we have 6 and 7.
There we go. That makes
Okay.
sense.
Okay, number 6 is 31,000 and change. That is just to close out more or less the previous phase of the project. These funds are coming from that additional loan forgiveness that we were awarded by SRF back in June. So this just draws down the retainage piece of that to close out that part of the project. So we'll be submitting a draw for roughly that same amount.
You mean after this or in addition to this, you'll be submitting a draw for that same amount you said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, after, like tomorrow, we'll send in the paperwork.
And we're asking to bring it forward to the council, because I believe they're gonna ask for payment pretty soon, aren't they? I can't-
Yes, I would have to look at the invoices. Some of these we may have already, application for payment. No, these would be all new ones.
Okay,
Yeah. I'm not sure if we've received the actual invoices yet for them though, from Beck. These are from Beck.
Well, that's
I don't think I do.
that's copy. You should have 1 page is number 6 and then 2 pages is number 7.
The council needs to approve this then, John?
They don't need to approve the draw, but you'll just approve the claim when it's paid.
Oh, okay, so we don't need to talk about it then Tuesday, but, I mean, it'd be information, not action.
Yes,
Right.
correct. And then pay app number 7, and this ties in with the slip a draw. This is the first pay app for the current work being done on Bell Street in Douglas. And we are going to use up all of those SLIPA funds. If you remember, we got awarded $361,000 from the legislature last year. We are using those funds to cover the front end costs of the Bell Street work that's going on right now. So that $174,000 rather, we'll be submitting a draw on the SLIPA funds for that amount to offset that. Perfect.
So the next item is the slip a draw, so that's what you're talking about.
Yep, that was it.
Okay, and that doesn't need to be approved by the council, that's
Nope,
just information.
just FYI, yeah.
And that amount was,
That's the
say the
one.
31,000 amount?
The 31,000 was the previous project with the loan forgiveness.
Right.
The SLIPA was draw number 7 for 174,000.
Oh, they. for
And
the whole amount,
change.
Okay.
Yeah. That's their first bill from Beck.
I think it's number 9 is where the exact number.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so just for the heck of it, what's SLIPA, State Loan?
State and Local Infrastructure Partnership Act.
Okay,
It was kind of I believe, a one-time funding authorized by the legislature for infrastructure projects, obviously by its name, and you had to apply for it. And it's a reimbursement grant, so we have to pay the invoices and then we submit for reimbursement.
Time to go to work.
Anybody got
Work,
anything
it's-
else?
That's overrated. They need me.
Okay, so then we'll move ahead then to number 6, which is applying for Main Street grant to fund lighting for TA sidewalk project out to the fairgrounds. Mayor or John, you want to talk about that or?
Yes, the grant is due on Friday. We have it pretty much all put together. We're gonna have a quick meeting tomorrow before we send it off. So, as you know, Great West got the contract to do the transportation alternative sidewalk project, which will go from the interstate out to the fairgrounds. But we didn't have enough money in that grant to pay for the lighting out there. So the lighting is pretty critical to make it a nice walking path and to make it safe. It's really dark out in that area. A lot of people walking the road, and you got people from the law enforcement center and the tourists at the hotels and everything, and it just isn't very safe. So we got a proposal from Great West Engineering for the lighting project, and I think it's 40 lights. And I think the cost is around $400,000. And our match is, I think, $82,000.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, we're bringing it forward so that you guys are aware of it, and we have to send the project off because it's due on the 14th. So we're going to need to submit it before the council meeting.
Go ahead, yeah.
So is this the same grant, the same place that we're applying for that we got the other grant from? Or is this a,
The
No,
sidewalk grant, you mean?
yeah,
No, it's
No.
different.
No, the sidewalk grant was through the Department of Transportation's Transportation Alternatives, the MDOT. And this is from the Department of Commerce, and the grant is supposed to be used to link tourists to your downtown.
okay.
So we're saying, we don't have any sidewalks, but maybe if we get them, then people could walk downtown or even walk to Subway or, if you travel somewhere and you've been driving for 8 hours, you really, don't want to walk around the hotel building 10 times.
And we don't have that many Ubers.
Yeah, and so that's kind of what we're looking for, and I think that, we did meet with, Mickey from the Main Street, because this is a Main Street, project, and the city has been a part of the Main Street program since, 2015, I think. And so these grants come up, but I don't know that, I think we applied for one. Oh, I'm kind of embarrassed to say it was before my term, but it was for that branding project that was Get a Life Glendive. I think that was the last one that the city applied for. And so this one is, kind of a chunk of change there, and it's a really important part of the project, the lighting. So,
And if I can,
oh, and
Oh,
yes, go ahead, Johnny. I think John might enlighten you with something more.
well, just on the budget side.
Yeah.
As the mayor alluded to, there is an $82,000 and change match. That is not in the budget. We have the funds, but it wasn't specifically budgeted for, so I just want everyone to be aware that that will
Maybe be a budget transfer.
require,
Timing wise for the project, maybe you could catch half on one fiscal year and half on the other, or can you not do that?
Probably catch it all on next fiscal year, actually, by the time everything got done.
yeah, that's possible.
Yeah, I don't expect it'll be done before, we'll be starting on it before July.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
We could.
anyway, we
plan a
are
little bit.
committing to something now that,
Right.
But it's
technically
important,
isn't in our
and if,
Yeah.
we don't get every grant we don't apply for.
Right.
right, we may
Is that how
not
that
be
goes?
approved.
So then moving forward, so say we get the grant and we do the project and we get the lighting moving forward, that would be a new lighting district, would it not?
Correct.
And that would just pay for the lighting and the maintenance moving forward, but it doesn't pay for the actual initial construction.
And that falls on the businesses and people in that area?
I think it
Right.
falls, if that light hits your property, you
There's, yeah.
get assessed for it, so.
I think I'm in dark territory over there where I'm at. I'm gonna look at my taxes.
Did you have some questions about it, Mike?
Oh, just, this council, even though it's kind of, what do you call that, retroactive, they would still have to approve this next Tuesday?
Yeah, I was still hoping we would bring it to the council and I would just let them know that we had a really short deadline for this.
Did the, there's obviously a plan. Now, did Great West or someone help with the plan for the lights?
Yes, we have a.
So that's all met MDOT stuff? Cause it's along at least part of it, or is it all on local road?
I think it's
It's all
all
local road.
because the interstate itself has lights.
So it's not till you cross the.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's at the other side of the interstate, basically from the Yellowstone River in. And then it goes down that side, and then there's a crosswalk.
So
and
right
then it
from
goes-
there, the state doesn't have any authority on that road, like we always have to get permission to change the speed limit, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Once you hit basically Runnings, everything out, well, I shouldn't say that, it's past.
Yeah.
But you can always tell where the road changes.
Yeah.
By the condition of it. I mean, there's been, what do you call those tailings used out
Yeah.
there, but anyway, that's what I'm saying, there's a few blocks before you get to that. But that's all still city jurisdiction there.
Well, as far as I know, because the, Great West Engineering had the proposed plan to us quite a long time ago, and it, they had the sidewalks in there, but now we have it with lighting. So that's really the only change right now is the lighting. I mean, all of this, I believe, was approved before I became mayor.
Just John, just a question on budgets then. I know we talk about this before we approve budgets. We always talk about grants going in. If they don't come in, then, but what happens when we have grants that come in that we didn't plan for, even on the spending side of it, even when it's 100% paid for, you still have to show it in the,
You still have to show it as a outflow of cash.
yeah.
And if that happens to result in if it turns out that's more than we budgeted in that fund or that account, then we'll have to do a budget amendment, which is no big deal. But you just say, hey, we got this grant unexpectedly, and that's how we covered this additional cost.
Cause I was thinking about that with the 911 too. I mean, more so than this one, cause this one is Jason and Brett we're talking about.
Well, in
the
that
end of next
case,
fiscal year.
Yeah, at least in that case, I think those are costs we already budgeted for. We would just be getting reimbursed, which would allow us to do more next year of different things, upgrades, whatever. But yeah.
But you still gotta show the revenue
Oh, sure.
coming in.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I think it's important, if we're gonna build the sidewalk, we need to. And then to be able to take care of it too. Winter time, that'll be 3/4 of a mile more snow removal.
Well, technically, that's the property owner.
Does it become?
Because it's no different than the sidewalk in front of your house or in front of, the Oasis or,
Okay.
but more for them to worry about, liability.
But it benefits them
Oh, yeah.
to have
I would
a
definitely.
safe place for people to be walking.
It's amazing how many people actually walk out there without sidewalks right now. So I think a sidewalk project is a huge benefit to the community, especially because that's where all of our hotels are.
Mhm.
And people are walking back and forth to the gas stations and over to Runnings or, GMC and the vet's home both utilize a lot of traveling nurses and CNAs. And they stay at those two hotels across the street from like where YRI is. And so people are constantly walking over there. So having the lighting and the sidewalks over there is just gonna be a huge benefit. I mean, I hear a lot of complaints working at the vet's home that, you know, it's so dark. Like they don't have, there's nothing over there. So
Yeah, it will be
Mhm.
great. Yeah,
this would be
that's
an awesome grant to get.
a good thing that you guys have brought this forward. Just one unrelated story to extend everything. So last night I'm driving home. Now, if you go under the underpass down there by the, on the run, there's lights. You go across the tracks, no lights. So these two little dudes on bikes in school, maybe even great junior high, I don't know, didn't talk to them. So now it's this time of night and they're riding, there's no lights there. So actually I kind of stayed behind them to give them some light so somebody wouldn't hit them. And in our community, people are pretty conscientious and safe, but it's like, really, it's pretty dangerous. I was kind of surprised some of these parents let them do that. But I mean, we're talking about having lights. When you don't have lights, it is very dangerous.
It is.
And these kids, you know, they just went down there probably to get something. They're headed home on their bikes and it's, can't really see them. If somebody looks away, stuff happens. But anyway, so yeah, this would just be, if we can get this grant, that would be great. So,
Yeah, we hope.
yeah. Updating bank signature cards. This seems like a pretty simple item.
Yeah.
It is. We will just, obviously be removing Betsy's name from the accounts, adding Rhett's name as the new council president. My only question is, for a handful of these accounts, Rhett's name was already on it, both his and Betsy's. So I'm wondering if we want to, generally it was Rhett, Betsy, and Mike who were on those accounts. Do we want to add another council member to replace?
I don't think it would be a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean,
I saw
Who's
Mike
the
waving his
third?
hand. It didn't show up on the camera, but he was waving.
Yeah,
Well,
you
he's
put my
been
hand
on
there.
them before, so I think
Yeah.
that would be the most common thing, would be to just put Mike on there.
well, he's already on it.
Oh, so
Oh.
now it's Mike
Mike
Loretta.
and Rhett, we would want another one on there probably, whether it's
Probably Clyde.
you or Clyde or. Is Clyde on FUPR?
No, and I think usually, at least my understanding was, it was the people who were on the budget committee who were on that signing thing, so. The budget committee would be Jason and Rhett and Mike. It's always the council president and then two members of FUPR. So before it was Betsy and Rhett and
Mhm.
Mike. So now the council president and then two other people from FUPR. And I think, Jason, you were on the budget
Yeah.
committee this year, right? And I think you worked, right? The budget committee, when we did the budget, you weren't on that, were you, Joanne? No. So probably it would be Jason that
Yeah.
would move to that.
Yeah, okay. We'll get that taken care of.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody have any comment, public comment? I just
So
have one.
loud, Brendan.
Well, wait, sounds like Mike does.
Yeah, it's not really, I don't know if it's a public comment. Is Brendan left here? No, that was a joke. Oh, no, this thing's still on too. So, Mayor, when we come into next year in our organization, then just kind of figure out where you think would best suit the city in terms of committee placement stuff. And I'll just leave it at that. That's all I'm gonna say, but, you can look at it and make recommendations and stuff. Usually the mayor in the past, in my experience, would ask the council members if they wanted to, the ones who were here already wanted to switch committees or do anything like that. So anyway, that was my 2 cents then. I'll just be done with it. So if there's no public comment, it looks like it's 5:48, so we'll be adjourned if that's okay.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.